Z and Charlamagne did what? Y'all better get a chair for this mess right here. Nicki Minaj is back at it again, and this time she's spilling some major tea about how Wendy Williams really ended up in her conservatorship. This whole time we thought Diddy was the one behind Wendy's guardianship, but according to Nicki, it is actually Jay-Z. And guess what? She claims Roc Nation is now plotting a way to make her the next celebrity that's thrown into a guardianship. No wonder they've been using her recent crashouts to push the narrative that she's hooked on substances and declining mentally. Turns out they are just planting this seed in people's minds, so when they finally push to get her in that guardianship, no one will bat an eye. This entire mess started when Gucci and his wife Keisha Kaur appeared on The Breakfast Club. Keisha was basically talking about how she prevents Gucci from running her career by snatching his phone and other electronic devices from him whenever he's having an episode, so he doesn't end up going on the internet saying something that could possibly ruin his career. As the conversation went on, Keisha also talked about how some of the artists that Gucci put on back in the day have refused to give him credit. DJ Envy's messy self then decided to bring up Nicki unprovoked, claiming Nicki is one of the artists who Gucci put on but refused to give him credit. Now, before we even get into Nicki's response, let me just tell you right out the gate that DJ Envy was lying out his mouth. Nicki has credited Gucci a bunch of times and even did so when she got honored with the Michael Jackson Vanguard Award. He was clearly trying to set Keisha up and she fell for it.
I would like all of them to acknowledge him, even if they win an award, acknowledge him because he gave you the stomping ground.
Mm-hmm. Most people don't know Nicki Minaj came out of that camp. French Montana came out of that
all
camp.
of
Most
them.
people don't know half those people. We know, but most people don't know that.
Migos, Thug.
Like most people
Because they don't say it.
Just gonna name them really quick. will.i.am, Fergie, Taylor Swift, who had a huge part in the success of Super Bass. Elton John recently, but you know he's an icon. Christina Aguilera, Ciara, Alicia Keys, Mary J. Blige, Keisha Cole, Gucci Mane.
For you, what was it like just trying to protect the business that you guys have built while
I have a
he's
system.
personally...
I take his apps off his phone. First thing I do, I delete Instagram. I delete everything. Even if I got to change his password, I'm changing it because I don't need the public to know he's having an episode. You realize you'd never know about any other episodes since September 13th because I control that. Because you're not going on Instagram, you're not going on Twitter, it's deleted. You know, and I just control everything at home. And now before the episodes come, I catch it. So that's why he hasn't had another one. And how you catch that is he doesn't speak to you. He wants to be left alone. He don't eat, he does not sleep. Text messages, there's a period after each word. And I'm like, you're going through an episode, you're sick. No, I'm not, ain't nothing wrong with me. Why do you think?
Nicki dragged Keisha for this, claiming that Keisha is apparently jealous of her. She also accused Charlamagne of conspiring with Jay-Z and Roc Nation to throw Wendy Williams in a facility. She claims that Wendy was doing fine right before Charlamagne sneaked his way into her life. And remember those SWATT calls that were made to Nicki's house multiple times these last few months? Well, she claims Roc Nation paid off the LAPD not to find the culprits. Gucci wife has been trying to be me for years, been dying for the spotlight for years. She's there to keep Gucci sedated. Charlamagne the fraud is Jay-Z friend and business associate, using heart radio for these disgusting ploys against innocent families. He was around Wendy before her life went to hell. The buck stops here, baby. Bookmark this tweet. Y'all really do not understand who I really am. Bring it. Let's play. Y'all wanted attention? Let's do it. LAPD. Where's the evidence of my home being swatted with a toddler inside 4 times? Drawn. Now, I don't know when exactly Tasha K and Nicki became besties, but baby, they've been going together real bad. And of course, Tasha stepped in to defend her. But here's the thing though, Tasha spilled some never-heard-before tea that definitely had the internet shaking. She claims that Roc Nation's current plan is to get Nicki in conservatorship so they can throw her in a facility and snatch up all her money. She said the only thing standing in the way of them doing this to Nicki is Kenneth. Since she's married to Ken, even if they succeed in getting doctors to diagnose her with mental health issues she doesn't have, all her money will automatically go to Ken since he's her husband. And if you take a look at all the celebrities who were thrown into a conservatorship, none of them were married. Britney wasn't married, and Wendy was divorced by the time Wells Fargo gave her a guardian. If they were married, it would have been much harder for her to be put in a guardianship. But see, Tasha also claims Roc Nation has found a way around this. They've started planting stories of Kenneth stealing and maxing out Nicki's credit cards so that when they finally make a move to get her in a guardianship, they can argue that Ken isn't fit to take over her finances either because he's a thief. And just like that, Nicki will be handed over to a complete stranger and given drugs she doesn't need till she actually starts losing it, just like they did to Wendy.
This is not something that is like a conspiracy theory. This actually happens. But if they're able to separate Nicki and Kenny, that makes Nicki vulnerable because your husband is your power of attorney. Your husband is your signator on all of your accounts in the event anything goes wrong. Michael wasn't married. Britney Spears was married, but of course they control all of that. And so the mere fact that all these narratives are out about Kenny stealing this to buy chains and buy that, that's not what it is. It's like, you know, they got doctors that are giving out these diagnoses saying that she's schizophrenic and bipolar and all of this stuff. And then Kenny's now here. You know, she trusts Kenny. Of course, they've known each other since they were kids. Their families know each other. And so Kenny is just in the way. And so what do? You create narratives to try to separate, because if you separate, then you can divide and conquer. And so that's what it's about. You know, she's going into her latter years and, you know, there's a lot of money on the line and she's worth a lot, but Kenny is in the way. And so, yeah, I mean, look at what they're doing to Wendy Williams. Had Wendy would have still been with Kelvin, they wouldn't have been able to put her under a conservatorship because she has a husband. So, you know, and like I said, there was only one that was accused of stealing. We're going to leave it at that. Okay?
Tasha also made this follow-up tweet in which she said, "Y'all gonna stop twisting my damn words. Nicki Minaj ain't got no schizophrenia. Let's be real. Most of us got a little bipolar and crazy in us, and that's facts. They tried to 51 to 50 Kanye for being bipolar. It's a mood disorder. Then turned around and attempted to seize his assets just because he was talking his ish. Meanwhile, Wendy Williams is sitting in a luxury hospital suite while her lawyers spend her money. Michael Jackson's gone, and Britney Spears had to flee the US to Mexico just to feel free after years under that conservatorship. What part don't y'all understand? This is a systemic industry takedown, meant to make her look incapable of managing her own money. And let's be clear, Kenny, the husband, is in the way. All this started after she tweeted about that damn COVID vaccine. Tasha wasn't done, y'all. She said she got word that Nicki's former assistant Khadijah stole Nicki's Apple ID information and passwords and sent it over to Nicki's ex-bestie Ra Ali. Yup, the same Ra Ali that gave Cardi B that knob on her forehead back in 2018 when she tried jumping Nicki at Fashion Week. Anyway, next thing you know, thousands of dollars start getting deducted from Nicki's credit card. The reason Tasha brought this up is because a few days ago, Nicki made some posts on her IG stories claiming that someone had been stealing thousands of dollars from her credit card. Of course, everyone and their mama accused Ken because, well, he literally lives off Nicki. And Cardi claimed in her tweets when she and Nicki were going at it over whose kid is more ugly and slow, that Ken was keeping Nicki hooked on substances so he can steal her money. According to Tasha, it was allegedly Ra Lee doing the stealing the entire time. Let drank up, shall we? Word on the curb is that Khadijah, Nicki's former assistant, done slid into a new position, Ra Ali's babysitter and side piece. Now listen, they say Ra swings both ways, and allegedly, Khadijah handed over Nicki's Apple ID, passwords, and login info straight to Ra. Next thing you know, credit card details were pulled, and the rest, history. Ra was history.
So earlier today, I talked about Nicki Minaj and all those fraudulent charges on her American Express card. Well, now all these old tweets from Cardi B are coming up. And by old tweets, I mean tweets from 2 weeks ago. But when she was beefing with Nicki on Twitter and they were talking about each other's kids, this one tweet kind of foreshadowed what's happening right now. So let's take a look. Quiet as kept, the truth is you've been diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar for almost 9 years, and you also on heavy drugs, cocaine, perks, and Xanax. You don't listen to nobody around you. The only person that have the power is Kenneth Petty, but you know what happens with that Amex when you sedated. This is Cardi implying that Kenny, Nicki Minaj's husband, is the one running up her credit card bills. And because my timeline is so messy, this tweet came up right after that one. Kenneth Petty sneaking back in after crushing up a third Benadryl in her tacos. And it's Tom with a Hello Kitty Visa credit card just sneaking back in. Yeah, that was kind of funny. But again, people are saying that it was her ex-stylist who was using her credit card. So We'll find out.
Now, as for Nicki, she went back on X and posted these AI-generated videos of Jay-Z playing in Beyoncé's closet, with the caption, "I am your karma." Nicki's IG account got banned after these posts, but she went over on X again to post anniversary photos of her and Ken, basically telling Roc Nation that she and him are locked in for life. People had their own thoughts about all this, like this person who said, "I believe everything Nicki say cause whenever a celebrity seem to be crashing out and get to airing things out, it's often always the truth." Another person said, "Nothing is wrong with Nicki. This happens when the bigger person gets tired of being the bigger person. They all did snake stuff to her for years. She's not crazy, but now I want to know what you think. Do you really believe that Jay-Z and Roc Nation are trying to put Nicki into a conservatorship? And do you also believe that this conservatorship is the reason why Nicki is still married to Kenneth Petty?" Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.